Did you hear me? Hi, and welcome to the Really Telling It Like It Is program. I'm Apostle Bacer J Baker, who is a doctor in psychology, and I'm on Kingdom First TV. And happy 4th of July to all of you out there. I have a guest that's having some difficulties in getting on the program, and uh, at any rate, it looks like she's coming in. Joe Henry, check and see, because it says that she's here, or that she's coming in. As soon as she does, then just bring her on. But at any rate, happy 4th of July, and I want all of you. Come on in. She's here, and just come on in. Hi, sweetheart. Okay,
Hello,
you can put
come
your
in.
phone down. You can put your phone down, and now you.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy
Hi.
4th.
I am so glad that you are here. We
Me
met
too. Me
just the
too.
other day, and we were just so connected. And I want you to talk, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. So, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Baker. Thank you, everyone. Happy 4th. I am so happy to be here. I feel very honored. A little bit about me. My name is Sokheap, so keep me around. And I am an educator and also a realtor. I came to America when I was 9 years old as a refugee. Let's see. One thing I love about life is just having the opportunity to help both my students and the families. And I love traveling the world. And when I met Dr. Baker and Lonzine in the airplane, I was like, wow, my prayer has been answered, and he's been watching me. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Dr. Baker, for having me here.
Okay. We're going to talk about your students and all, but since this is the 4th of July, this is Independence Day. I want you to tell us just a little bit about your coming over. You said that you came over as a refugee. Tell us a little bit about that. What was that like at 9 years old?
Wow. Okay. So I survived two refugee camps, so that's another story. But when I first came to America, I was very, very confused. I experienced a major cultural shock. I felt like an outcast because no one talked to me at school. I was always in the corner. I was always the one that's being ignored. I couldn't talk to my teachers. I couldn't talk to my classmate. I basically was like a mute child. And I think I was put in first grade at age 9 because I couldn't speak English. Now the food was different as well. I was very, very shocked, and I couldn't eat the food. I remember my very first American food was hot dog, and forgive me, but when I first saw it, I was very embarrassed. I was very shy. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't look at that. That's not coming from an Asian culture. We don't talk about anything in that at all. But when I saw that, I was very shy, very embarrassed. I didn't touch it, but people thought I was weird. And another thing that was very difficult at school, in our culture, you don't touch our heads. That's very disrespectful. And so when somebody touched my head at school, I was offended, and I went up to the teacher. I spoke to her, and I cried at the same time, but she didn't understand what I was saying, so she just basically told me to just go back to sit, or she just like this. So that was difficult as well. And let me see. Just seeing a lot of people who were so different from me was very overwhelming for me. I was scared. I didn't know what to say. I was just like shocked. I'm like, I didn't know people come in all shapes and everything. So let me see what else.
Where's your native country? Where did you? What nationality? That we're we're in the kingdom of God, and I believe in creation. So I don't ask people about their race because I believe that there's only one, and that's the human race.
Yes.
And God made us all out of one blood. So what is your nationality?
From Cambodia.
Cambodia. Oh, that's like my son next door. Uh,
Yes.
you know, Sambo. He's from Cambodia. His
Yes,
friend
yes.
is from Vietnam, and so
Uh-oh.
yeah, yeah. So you came from Cambodia to America, and you were in the refugee camp, and you were in there for how long?
I was born in the forest, and
Mhm.
so my mom was just running from one place to another place. So basically, I was there until I was 9 years old when my family and I got sponsored to America. So I was born in a refugee camp on the
Oh wow!
my
Oh,
first memory was seeing people blown up in front of my face. So
so that was a lot of trauma to you. Uh, Yeah, it was really a lot of trauma, and you laugh, but we're going to deal with the inside of you. So we're going to really get to know you.
thank you,
You and I are going to get to do
thank
that.
you, Dr. Baker.
Because as a child, and these types of things happen, where you see those things, and the confusion and all of this comes in. Did were you were tempted to withdraw, but were you tempted to be bitter? Were you tempted to what kind of emotions and things did you go through?
At the time or now? Right
That
now?
at that time.
Oh, I remember clearly. I was like this, like a deer in front of a headlights. I was like this. I didn't know, and I remember somebody pulled me by the arm and pulled me to the ground. I had no idea. All I knew was just survive, like literally and figuratively survive together. So I remember running all the time, especially at nighttime, just run, 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 run. And I, I didn't feel anything. The goal was to survive together. No time to think, no time for any kind of emotional at all. Period.
So that means that in that emotional stuntedness, what do you see with the young people that you work with now? You have a real heart, a real empathy, a real compassion for your students. What do you see? How can you compare? What are some of the things that are parallel to what it is that you've gone through in your life and the students that you are helping today?
Oh, thank you for asking. I love that question. So, my students are like my kids. I protect them like they're my own because even though I cannot share some of the deepest thing that happened to me in the refugee camp, but I can totally relate. And my students call me mom. They basically told their parents and say, Dr. Hain is my new mom. So when they said that, I basically felt very, very honored because they felt safe with me. Okay. And students who just basically fight for survival in their own neighborhood, and they come to school, smells really bad, hungry, no, not very, dirty clothes. And that reminds me of the time when I was in the refugee camp. So I always, people and colleagues, they always say I party a lot with my students, but I didn't take the time to explain to them. I just explained to my student, hey, you know what? Every single victory deserves a celebration. Even if you're able to wake up and got your binders together, that's a celebration. We will celebrate that. Every little thing counts. And when I first came to America, basically I was laughed at. I was ignored, even by teachers, by adults. So for my students, I promised myself when I became a teacher, I would never, ever, ever make my students feel the way I felt when I came to America.
I have to keep unmuting myself because I don't want my background noise to do that. So, what are some of the things that you do with your students? What are some of the things that you do to help them to realize that they're a person? Because what it sounds like to me And what happened is when you came and the things that you went through, it was almost like you were a non-person, and a non-existent entity, not a person, not something that was created by God, not someone that was created by God, but just an object rather than that person, that beautiful person that I met, that beautiful person that I see today. And so, what do? You look and try to bring the things out of them, that the beautiful part of what it is and how it is that God has made them, to bring that out. Uh, you know, um, Talk about a few of those things. What happens in you and what you're trying to do, what you're attempting to do with them.
Wonderful. So a few months ago, one of my students, he one of those that it's not always the cleanest. He's one of those that doesn't smell good, and he basically the test scores show that he's below, far below grade level. I didn't care about the test score. I didn't care about the smell. I didn't care about the look. I look into his heart. I said, "Baby, what can you do? What can you do that people can't do?" He looked at me. He go, "Dr. Hey, I don't understand." I'm like, "I know you understand. I know deep inside your heart. I know you're good at something. I know you believe in yourself, but I am here to listen to you right now." And so, the first few times he still act like I don't know what you're talking about. So I didn't give up. I continued to talk to him. I continued to have like the private one-on-one conversation outside of school. I said, "Baby, I can sing. I cannot sing. I can sing. I can cook. I can dance. I can't dance either. But just something to make him feel comfortable, because that's something that I thought he had. He's very creative, but he never admitted. But that's just something I saw already. Like his school mother knows. So one time we were just chilling, but again my eyes was on him. He was spitting bars, freestyle. Yes, he looked at me. He started saying da 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 da, Dr. Hay, all this stuff, and he looked at his friend. Da da da. I'm like, oh, there you go. This is what I'm talking about. So I brought something inside of him that was deep, deep inside that he never thought that he had, or something that he never believed in himself. So I didn't just bring that up. I recruited everyone. I celebrate. I told the whole campus, the principal, security, everyone. I'm like, check out my baby. Watch this. And I continued to have him rap, and he was really shy, but I was just doing my own thing. I was his cheerleaders, even though I look goofy, but it's okay, because it wasn't about me. It was about making my baby believe in himself, because no one believed in him because of the way he looked, but the way he smells, and also his outfit wasn't popular enough. But ever since he was able to spit bars, people was like, "Oh, okay, look at him." So they mentioned his name a lot after that. So that's one thing. Another thing, I think recently my sixth graders DM me late at night around 10:30, telling me that she was scared. That right there hit me hard as well, because out of all the family members she has, she reached out to me and she said, "Mama, I'm scared." I'm like, "What's going on?" And she told me about the situation that happened between her parents. So I was there the whole entire night. I was like texting and responding to her constantly, letting her know that she's okay. If there's anything that she needs help, if she want me to be there, I would definitely go there with the principal. So just and then the next morning she wasn't there, but I continued to contact her, and she finally showed up to school. She thanked me. She said, "Thank you for always being there for me," and she said that she felt very, very scared, and somebody at the household disconnected the internet router so that she couldn't communicate with anyone else. So, but I was like, okay, we'll let that go. We're now here. You're okay. Let's move forward. How can I provide support? What can I do? So, I mean, just now she DM me summer vacation. She's now in, seventh grade now, but she still DM me telling me that she missed me and saying that she would never forget me. And that's something that really hits hard. And that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can leave education, because I feel like I know I'm not just a teacher. I am there for them wholeheartedly, genuinely, because I wasn't given the opportunity. And now he gave me the opportunity to help make a difference. So here I am. I feel like I'm the chosen one to be here and to serve him with a purpose.
It's really something. Here's something that happens. Um, I'm a doctor in psychology, and one of the things that I let people know is this: what it is that you go through is not about you. It's to you, but it's for someone else. And the difficulties that you went through, the difficulties that your students are going through, as you help them, they're actually helping you. And when we met on that plane the other day, I wasn't feeling the greatest. My, and you and Lonzine talked, you had the conversations and all. But I knew something also. I knew that I was on that plane to be able to help you. See, you're a mama to a lot of people. The thing of it is that there is something that you need also, and this is how great God is. He brings those into our lives because now you're like this Moses in this place that you are, and you need your hands held up. You need someone to lift up your hands. And so this is that opportunity. You're on the front line doing what it is that you're doing. You're out there, you're doing things for people that cannot do things for themselves. And this is a powerful thing. And for us to start this interview, for us to start this on the 4th of July, Independence Day, you're creating something that what the adversary, what the demonic kingdom means for harm for these children. What's happening is that you're working in it, you're bringing it out. The powerful question that you asked that young man is, what can you do? What can you do? And he couldn't see anything. That question is like the same question that the prophet had when he went to the widow, and he says, "What do you have in your house?" And she says, "Nothing." Because what we see we have, we don't see it as anything. What I want you to do is I'd like to have you to one day we're going to talk more and more about what it is that you went through in the refugee camp. What made you decide to be an educator? What made you decide to go into this?
Thank you for asking. So I remember I was 7 years old and I couldn't see my dad work so hard in the refugee camp just to come home for a minute and then bring just to cook food, make some food, and take it to my mom who was in the hospital. And I had a little sister, like 3 years old, and I basically when I saw my dad was in and out of the house cooking and quickly went to my mom. After that, he had to go to work or some kind of program. I was too young to even know what kind of program, but I knew he was away from home a lot. And I had to go to school. My sister was too young, so I was like, okay, she can't be home alone. And I decided to drop out of school without letting my parents know about it. So I dropped out of school. I had my own little garden. I planted some herb. I don't know what you call it in English. It's some kind of herbs, plants, very popular among us Asians. So I planted that. I harvested, and I basically clean, package it and put on top on the basket and put on my head. And I carry that 7 years old, carry that to the market, and sold those plant those herbs. And then what I was left over, I would come home and just start knocking on doors or whatever you call it, the tent, I don't know, around the camp area, begging people to purchase whatever wasn't sold at the market. So my market was right next to my
Wait
plants.
a minute. Tell us the name of this. Tell us the name of this food in Cambodian. I mean, we can learn new languages too.
It's chi pala.
Okay.
Yes, chi pala. So it's like a it's almost like basil, but it's not really basil. It's very thorny. Okay. So but anyway, so I would drop out of school, I would harvest, I would pick up, go walk to the field and pick up cow manures for my plants, but at the same time I hear school children singing, and I remember the song, where is father, where is father, here I am. I remember that I would just watch them and took care of my plant, my garden at the same time. And I told myself, I don't know how long I'm going to live. I don't know what my life's going to be like tomorrow or tonight because of the war, and we're staying in the camps, but I want to continue my education. I can't, and it's not my choice. It's because I'm forced to it because of the war situation. And then when I came to America again, I was English illiterate. I was made fun of. A high school teacher said I was going to be a shoplifter when I grew up in front of everyone. I didn't understand the meaning of it, but I did feel the negative energy. People laughed, but I couldn't understand. So and then I promised myself I'm gonna be a teacher. I'm going to take care of the children who are less fortunate, because what I'm going through right now is unfair. What I'm going through right now is uncalled for. So I will be taking care of the kids within my whatever I can within the power. I will take care of the kids, empower them, and not crush them.
It's really interesting. Your I went through something similar. I wasn't very bright in school, and during my era, um, being black and or colored is what we were then. I think Negro, colored, whatever. Any rate, because our things has changed so so many times, so I can't remember what it was back then. But they let it be known. I said I was going to be a doctor, and they said, "Oh, you couldn't be a. I couldn't be a doctor." And it was one of those things that I knew that nothing could stop me from becoming what it was that I was to become. I didn't even know what I was talking about, but I believe that what happened to you pardon me, was the same thing that happened to me. Out of your spirit, out of the DNA that God planted on the inside of you, it connected with your mouth, your brain, and your mouth, and spoke out what it was that He had planned for you even before He created you. So, tell us a little bit about, we have about 5 minutes left on this program, and you are going to be with me on the next program. Okay. So
Thank you.
tell us tell us a little bit about the progression of this. I want you to talk about it, and I want you to just to be real. My audience, Helen and Alicia from wherever it's from New Zealand, I think it is, and Nicole and Betty Joe and Mark Fox and Pastor Fox and Tracy Joe and all of these people that are on here. They're going to share this on their YouTube and their Twitters and their itters and all of them little Facebook type things that you guys know about that I know very little about. But, sweetheart, I want you to know that I am so honored as to be able to have it so that you are becoming part of my family and a part of me, a part of what it is that we're doing, who it is that we are. And so, what I want you to do is I want you to talk. I want you to go back and as you were selling these herbs and this vegetable, this seasoning, this spice. Okay, as you were selling that, tell us a little bit about what happened, and tell us a little bit about your sister also and the rest of your family, where they are and what's going.
Okay. At age 7, so I was busy taking care of my family, and I didn't have time to play. There's no childhood at all. It was just all business, taking care of family, making sure everyone's okay, making sure my sister's okay. And with that little break that I had, I remember playing hide and seek. Um, culture, we're not supposed to ask questions. We're supposed to obey what the elders um, ask us to do. So while I was trying to find a place to hide, this one man, he was sleeping in the hammock, and he told me to come in. I was at 7 years old. I was 7 years old, and when the man said, "Hey, come on in," they're not gonna find you over here. So in my head, I remember clearly. In my head, I was like, "Okay, he's an elder. He's an older man. The little kids, not gonna be able to find me because I'm gonna be with the older man. He's gonna protect me. Um, he grabbed me. That hammock. It's like a two-layered hammock type of thing. Is there's one of those Asian hammock, but so he grabbed me. He put me on top of him, and he covered it. So I felt something. I didn't understand what was going on, but I felt something wasn't good. Um, he grabbed me and he grabbed my whole body and he just rubbed me and pulled me up and he he just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't understand what was going on. I moved. I tried to say something. He said, "Shh, don't say anything. They will find you." So I didn't say anything. I heard children's voices out there trying to look for me, but the man just basically covered my mouth and said, "Don't say anything," but he would still rub me. And I didn't understand what was going on, but I felt really, really, really uncomfortable. Um, so finally, one of the kids found me, and I just jumped out of the hammock and I just took off. I put on a smiley face. Everything was straight. Everything was good. I continued to sell herbs, to continue to take care of my sister, bathe her, whatever, all the good things. And then my brother was newborn. I took care of him too. And I never told a single soul that what happened. And later on, when I came to America, I found out I was sexually molested, and I had no idea. I didn't know what to say, nothing at all. So I continued to keep it to myself. That was basically something that I couldn't say anything to anyone because I had to remain strong. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of six now. But excuse me, please.
Oh, go ahead, baby.
I have to be very strong for my family. I had to make sure that all my family's taken care of because they went through the war to take care of us. And I'm just a little girl trying to take care of my family. I didn't have anything. I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm supposed to be the strong one, the leader for my family. So I kept that to myself. Every single night, I would have nightmares of getting raped. I had no idea what that was all about, but I kept it to myself, didn't tell anyone. I remember um, one time when my brother came in my room in the middle of the night. I had no idea I did it, but I woke up screaming and tossed pillows and said, "No, no, 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 I am." And finally, I finally my brother and my mom came in my room. They're like, "What's going on? What's going on?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know." And that was it. Everyone left. I had no idea. And then there's other incident where every single time when my uncle touched me, just a little tap, touch me, "Hey, where you going?" I turn into a complete different person. I had no idea that happened, but I turned into a complete different person. Just yell at him, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." And anywho, long story short, when I was 31 and a half years old, weeks before I got married, I told my sister and my mom for the very first time that I got molested at the refugee camp. Yeah, they were very shocked. They were very upset. All that good stuff. But for the longest time, I blamed myself for being stupid, for being dumb, for listening to him. But then at the same time, it's a cultural thing. So you can't question. You can't do anything to adults. You unheard. And that's why I promised myself I will never let any kids go through anything. If it's in my power, then I will make sure I go to battle for them because no one was there for me. And I was there for everyone. And in the end, I got burned. And I do not want my students to go through all that. I, I don't. So that's why I give my students my whole soul, my heart and soul. I give it to them. And then when I noticed some of my students stopped coming to school, and I found out more, they basically got evicted. And I was like, no, I can't have this happening. So I became a realtor as well, so that I could help my students and my students' family, so that we can all get to where we want to be in life. We all have different, all come from different walks of life. We all, have goals, but we all need help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I know I can't help everything. I'm just Sokheap, but I'm gonna keep serving God, I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do. I know I'm here for a purpose. I don't know. People may mention, may label, him as something. I don't care. I know I believe in him wholeheartedly. I know he's there for me. I cried. I was in my deepest, darkest moment weeks ago, and I came and met you, Dr. Baker, and Lansine in the airplane. I kept telling you guys, and I kept, praying to him and said, "Thank you. You saw me cry. Thank you. You heard me. Sorry."
Take some deep breaths. We're going to be back next week. She's going to be with me next week. And it's going to be a recorded program. So we're just going to continue on with what it is that we're doing. And I want to thank all of you for joining us. I want to thank Kingdom First and Joe Henry for allowing us some extra minutes on this program. And we're going to continue with the story, and you're going to see more and more of Sokheap because she's becoming part of my family, part of our family. And we're going to do many things together. So I told you this program is called Really Telling It Like It Is. It is no joke. It is no play. It is none of those things. And so share this and do whatever it is. You guys have a super 4th of July, and we will see you next time when we're here really telling it like it is. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Baker.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Kingdom First TV, your station